Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Sarah.
Welcome to this call. This is a free Zoom. This free room is invite Sarah Watt, who lives in Australia, and she is the uh, owner of horses.
In
and she
multiple countries.
Yeah, in multiple countries. Oh, tell me about it later. Okay. And she is also a ISIS consciousness certified facilitator and also a conscious horse conscious riders certified facilitator. Okay. So that's welcome Sarah Watts.
Thank
Yay.
you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and talk about horses, my favorite subject.
Yeah, this is
The
Sarah Watt, and
horses.
also here we have Li Cong Lu. Yeah, Li Cong is the Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, and she is also a host, the class host for Sarah Watt's a class about horse. It's coming to Taiwan in this December, and also Claire Liao. She is our lovely translator for this class. So welcome to you both. Can you say hello to everybody? Little.
I,
It's
are you
you. It's
kidding
you.
me? Okay. Sure. I can start talking or just say hi?
You can whatever you want.
I would like to say why I initiated this project because when I was in Mumbai, well, I know Sarah for a long time and I've been following her podcast. And when I was in Mumbai last year, I all of a sudden feel like this person is more like a horse than a person, but she can speak English. So how cool is that? What if we have her to Taiwan? What contribution would that be? In Taiwan, did that sound clear? Okay. So in Taiwan, horse business is like a very excluded. It's getting more. Every a few months, I start to see people have horse and horse stables. Sometimes new places also. So I get really enthusiastic about bringing more general public to get in contact with this amazing creature that's so willing to work with us, contribute to us, and show us where we stand, because a lot of time we think we saying things, why don't you do what I say? But if our energy is not there, the horse don't lie. They just let you know what are you up to. So I just feel like have a person so much like horses and love horses, and then she can speak English and hang out with her. How cool is that?
I love that.
Mm. And I actually took classes before, and I took with Gary last year. And it's amazing when you around horses and you trust the horse and trust yourself to really relax. Amazing things you can observe, you can be aware. So it's not just about being on the horse or touch the horse. It's like you are willing to receive from horses, and you are willing to be the gift that you be to really connect with them. It's not just look at them or use them, but really work with them and bring out what's amazing possibility on this planet.
Yeah.
That's why.
And Sarah, I have a question for you. Yeah. Why you want to own horses? To me, my first thought said they are very expensive. They eat a lot. And they just don't just eat like a 1 or 2 days, they eat every day. So how come you want to own horse? What it brings you? Yeah.
That's a great question. And, from a child, it's funny, there's kind of a thing where a lot of girls have this phase of their life where they love ponies. It's meant to be this phase where you fall in love with ponies and you do pony club and you ride ponies, but then you're meant to grow out of it, right? So I laugh because I'm like, I never grew out of that phase of my life. And as a small child, we could never afford horses. Exactly. They're very expensive. They're very time consuming and they're very money consuming. So you need to have accessibility to time and to money to have horses. So from a young age, we couldn't afford to have horses. So I would just do anything I could. I would just navigate to them and be drawn to them so much. But I don't think I bought my first horse until I was probably in my early 30s. Because that's when I could afford it. I found this amazing thing called Access Consciousness that actually showed me and taught me that I could have the life that I desired. I didn't have to continually dream and wish for things, that I could actually, I could actualize anything that I want in this life. And always horses have been what I wanted. So that's what I set myself, that's what I set, my target, my goal, my every day I would wake up and be, how can I have horses in my life? And the reason why, look, they give me something that I don't get from anywhere else. I just spent a few hours. I live in Australia, as you mentioned, on the tiny little bit down the bottom called Tasmania. We just moved here a few months ago. And I have 3 horses here with me in Tasmania. So today, I spent a few hours with them, bathing 2 of them. And even just that, like, you think washing an animal, like, isn't that just boring? You're going to get wet. Like,
No.
everything about being in the presence of these magnificent creatures is just, it's just like nothing else. There's things that are similar to it that have this sense of like power and rawness and trust and vulnerability, but nothing quite like it. So I could not imagine my life now without having horses in it. I think if I couldn't afford them again, if something happened, I would just volunteer somewhere or find a stable where I could go and collect the poo for them, or in exchange for being allowed to brush them and take care of them. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just, once you have that, and it's very hard to not have it again. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say something about that too. Like I so far I am not owned by a horse yet. However, I
What do
do
you
go
mean
to,
not owned by horse?
you cannot
I
really
thought you
own a
are the
horse.
owner.
No, you cannot really own the horse. You can ask their permission to really have a relationship and build things together, but they are their own creature. They are not to be owned, but I'm willing to be with them. So I go to stables sometimes to do body process, to do SOP, to be with them, like grooming, washing, and I just love it
Yeah,
because then my brain get quiet,
yeah,
and the thing is, horse is such a receiving magnitude. They just, whatever you be, they receive you, no judgment, and just such a quietness between this simple contact. And then it's so obvious when they're receiving, and I don't have really good words to say, but just you're together and you're together. And there's just such a universe that's so different from when you're with people and when you have things to do. But I love grooming them, so I go there. I don't ride much, but I go there to just be with them. So what if that's an option? You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be competitive. You just are willing to be your presence and let them receive you. It's just amazing.
yep,
Yeah,
totally, totally.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
just tell
then
me, I can just keep talking too. So if you guys have
Keep
more
talking,
questions.
keep talking.
Well,
yeah,
it's interesting what Litzong was saying about receiving, because I think that's really one of the big, quote unquote lessons that I think horses are really here to show us, to teach us, whatever. It's such a big, it's such a big muscle to have, this muscle of receiving, right? Like we think we're receiving things, but I think a lot of the time we actually just filter a lot of things out, and we kind of just take the things that work for us or the things that don't work for us, and we kind of categorize them or whatever. When you're with a horse, there's an invitation to be an energy of like total receiving with them, where you can really just open yourself up, because I think a lot of us, we have these barriers up for whatever reason, because we feel like we need to protect ourselves, we don't want to be hurt, we don't want to show too much of ourselves to other people. But with horses, you can literally just show up as you, and there's nowhere in there what they don't know how to judge. So it's this thing of you can go ride your horse and wear the oldest clothes you own, your hair's a mess, you don't have your makeup, like you just step out there in your pajamas. Half the time I feed my horses with my pajamas still on in the morning. They don't look at you like, excuse me, like there's nothing in their world where they even know how to judge anything. So you're all of a sudden faced with this creature that is, 5+ times the size of you, 5 times as big as you, at least, depending on how big you are. They're big, right? They're very big. But you get around them and you're like, what? I can literally just be myself, exposed, warts and all, and you won't at all like treat me any differently than you would anyone else. Like yeah. And I think that's what I was sort of touching on at the start, where when you step into their world and you perceive the energy of a horse and you perceive the energy of a herd of horses, especially when you have a few together, whether it's in stables or in a field or whatever, there's a definite energy that goes on there that you just want to be part of it. It's like the best friends that you never had. Like it's like you're part of this energy of real inclusion and real friendship as well. So yeah, they're very special. Yeah.
Wow, that's so lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about this? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
And
best
when
friend
Sarah,
you want to have. Wow. A group
Yeah.
of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
so wow. It is it's so cool. Yeah, I want to be part of it.
Yeah, right. And then it's
Yeah.
also like, you mentioned at the beginning, I have taught horses in two parts of the world. I have my three horses here in Tasmania with me, and I also have two horses that live at El Lugar in Costa Rica. And even though I only see those horses like, 2 or 3 times a year, there's this energy of the horse. I call it the global herd energy, or the herd energy of the world of horses, where you sort of become part of this greater energy, I guess. And my horses here in Australia have never met my horses in Costa Rica, but there's still some connection that goes on there between the horses all around the world, where I get a sense they're all taking care of each other and they're taking care of the planet. And I think when you step into that, and they'll let you in, you don't even need to ask permission. You can just go and
Really?
be with them.
Really?
Oh, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're one of us. Come on then, let's go." You become part
That
of this.
easy? That
That
easy?
easy. That's what I mean. There's no exclusion. If you want to be there, they want you there. They really want you there. They love people, animal, everything. They're like, more of us? Come on, let's go. Let's be together. Let's create together. It's truly a gift. There's nowhere where you're around them and you're like, oh, I feel awkward, or I don't feel accepted in this situation. Like everything, they're like, come with us. Let's go. Let's go play. Let's go eat. Let's go sleep. Let's go, let's go. Yeah.
There are so many different animals. Yeah. And and what's the difference you perceive from who you receive from the horse versus other animals? What can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, and I mean, you're correct. Every animal, I get a sense that we as humans, let's call us people, have, kind of like a relationship with, for lack of a better word, an interaction with. I love dogs as well. I'm a big dog lover, but being around dogs is different to being around horses. And I think the difference with horses is, you look back over history, right? And I mean, horses evolved, a long, 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 long time ago, but they've existed in their current form as they look now for, I think, somewhere around 150,000 years. So in that time, us as like people bodies have sort of been on the planet around the same amount of time. Like we've stepped into these bodies in evolution around the same time. So we've kind of done a lot together over that 100,000 years or however long it's been. We've built nations together, we've conquered nations, we've you know just experienced so much of where we are today as people, as our race, is based on a relationship that we've had with horses, and to different degrees with dogs, with other animals as well. But I truly believe horses and people share something where we have so much to give to one another, to further ourselves along, to make us better. And I think now, because we're kind of at this place where we don't need to use them in that way anymore, we don't require them to pull our carts, we don't require them to plow our fields, we don't require them to go to war anymore for us. So it's like now we get to look at what can we truly create with these magnificent creatures that's beyond anything that we've ever been willing to create with them before. And that's what I love about the Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider class, because that's what it's really about. It's about this what next energy of what this partnership that has been, in effect, it's been growing, it's been changing over 100,000 years or more. What's next? What's available now with that? So yeah.
Yeah. And how about you, Li Cong? You've been grooming with horses.
Yes.
Yeah. And to me, it's like amazing because for me, I'm a Taiwanese. I don't feel like I have any chance to be with horses. I don't know where I find horse, or it is not part of my life. So to me, it's like horses, really? Those are for people who are very rich people. Yeah, it's nothing to do with me. They are on movie, they are on television, they have nothing to do with me. But Li Cong, you kind of have a like different relationship with horses while you live in Taiwan. Can you tell me about more about this?
It's like what Sarah was saying, this universe horse net, Once when I was young, my family are really basic, and when I desire horses, the best I can do is when there's a department store, they have this fake horse with the fake fur, and then you can put a coin there and you can sit on that. But even just that, I think it brings up a lot of the energy that's possible. And to be on that high rise, to be that different vision. And my father did say that horses is not only expensive and the elite class, or also it's dangerous. They will say it's dangerous. They don't want you to get hurt. So how many things people tell you to keep you away from that amazing treasure until you look to find out, you will never know. So instead of me finding horses, I actually admit that horses find me.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, horses find me. And I don't need to know why. I can just say, good deal, that's fun. So once I start to really be curious about what can happen, like with Access Tools, we do energy work, we do whatever. It's just like when we're with horses, I am more myself than ever. And there's no judgment, like what Sarah was saying, but also this inclusion, what she said too. But there's also a sense of receiving who I am, what I be here right now. For example, when I'm running body process on them, the instantaneous receiving give me the feedback. As it's like the immediate correct truthful feedback, and then there's no separation. So so they find me. Everywhere I go, I see. Even when I'm traveling, I remember when I first started with Access Counseling. Even when I'm traveling with no planning, I can come across 3 horse stable where I stay near National Park, whatever. They just find it the weirdest way. But I did have that ask. When I first started to touch horses, I let them know if this is a contribution, can you connect me with more possibilities? And that's how it started. And it's just like amazing ways they find me. Sometimes very literally, like I could be looking down for something and I look up, there's a horse right next to me. They're curious about me, So what can I be that is also like a play with their curiosity. Yeah. So I wouldn't go into length, but it's like this is a class like no other. It's not about training you to be a rider, but when you are truthful, horse get you easy. They understand you easy. They understand how they can play with you easy. When you are really clear with your energy, and they play with you without really a lot of control, a lot of talking. They'll just be with you, and I think that's the amazing part of like, let's run together, let's play together, that part. So I'm glad that Sarah mentioned that part of they receive you and they want to play with you.
Yeah. And I love what you were saying, Litsong, because you asked the horses to show up and they did. And I truly believe what they also desire to teach us is the gift of asking and receiving and instant actualization. You know, a lot of people are also like, you know, I'm a business person or I'm a mum or whatever it is. I am ... Why would I go to a horse class? You know, but the people that I get the best feedback from, well, there's two people that I get the best feedback. One is usually people that are very interested in horses, but haven't really been willing to sort of take that plunge. And then they're like, oh, this is what I need. Now I'm going to start, you know, trying to see what it would take to get a horse in my life or something until I can. And then the other people just are people that are like, you know, I have no idea why I'm here almost. And then from what we play with in the class with the horses, like Litsong was saying, you actually walk away with tools for every aspect of your life. Like, you know, I was talking to someone who came to my class in India, and, you know, we do this exercise in Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider called the leadership exercise, which is really teaching you, like Litsong was saying, about having very clear, energetic communication, because you can't really go to a horse, hey, can you come over here? I need to have a talk to you about something. There's this thing going on, and then can I give you this and you take it over there, kind of thing. They don't talk, they don't speak our language, but they will respond so eloquently to energy. So we do this leadership exercise where you really learn to move the horse around you and tell it or ask it to do things using your energy. And so we had this horse, and, you know, this girl that was in the class couldn't get the horse to, she tried all the things that I was suggesting, and I was like, okay, this is not working. So I looked at her and like the way she probably is with her business and her relationships, and I said, just fill the horse with energy, like animate the horse into wanting to move. And she just kind of sent this energy to the horse, and all of a sudden the horse came to life and was moving around her. And so I was like, that you take that into your job, like, where are we not willing to just animate the people around us that require that type of energy? Because we think it can't be that easy, or you can't possibly have something happen so easily. So there's so many things in this class where you practice it with horses. The horses show you how to be very succinct, but you take all of that away and you use it in every aspect of your life to change everything that you do on a day-to-day basis. You know, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, once said to me, well, in a class, everything I've learned in life, I've learned from my horses. And I was like, and I'm a horse person. And I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Really?
Like,
even you don't think it's
me,
right?
even me.
You're a horse person.
I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And I was like, I'm gonna explore this a bit. And literally every time I'm with my horses, if I'm willing to open up and receive from them, whatever that it is that the two of us can create in that time, in 10 minutes while I feed them their breakfast, they will teach me and show me things. Like, literally, it's phenomenal the amount of information that they have for us that is totally relevant to us and our lives, like totally relevant. And even if you come to this class and you don't see another horse for another year or the rest of your life, you'll have tools that you apply to every day that those horses will show you. It's quite magical and quite phenomenal, really. Yeah, it's truly a gift. The gift of horses.
Wow. The gift of horses, I got a taste by the Li Cong's SC intro in the same venue. Yeah, in the same venue. Yeah, the horse our class in December. And I received a session from Li Cong right next to the door in front of the horses. And then during the session, yeah, I feel the horse is using his lips to touch my hands.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know how to describe the feeling.
Yeah.
The energy is like, whoa. And
Yeah,
it's kind of
electrified.
like the horse is asking me, say, hey, silly one, receive.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, what is this? But I was so moved by this energy. I cannot really tell what it is, but what I get is like the horse is supporting me
Yeah.
in his own way, his or
Yeah.
her. I forgot. But it is like, wow, it is very gentle.
Yeah.
And the energy is so warm and gentle and big. It's like
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Surround me. I said,
Yeah.
wow, I I really it invites me to see how much barrier I put up and how silly
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I this is like I didn't expect it to happen. It's in to them it's like that easy, just you silly girl. You see?
Yeah. And then your whole
Isn't
world's changed just from the horse touching you and doing this tiny little thing. And all of a sudden you
Yeah.
perceive from that one interaction, that one moment, the universe is available with receiving, and how much it's possible for something else to have your back that much. Like where they just completely have your back in every moment. And we're like, that can't be possible, because most of the time we are surrounded by people, and people are way tougher than horses. But the cool thing about those interactions, I think, as well, is they teach you that you don't have to have your barriers up, even when you're around people that aren't necessarily that kind and have that warm energy. Like they really teach you to have that for yourself at all times, to always be that for you and never need it from somebody else. And then if you get it, then it's a bonus. But if not, you actually have access to that. And that is who you are as well. And I think that is what they love to show us.
yeah, that's so cool. And they didn't ask me to pay them. It's not anything transaction. They just
No,
give it to you. Yeah.
no, yeah, yeah, no, there's nothing in their world. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Litsong was saying about you don't own horses, horses own you. It's funny because they're out in the field. I mean, it's funny sometimes because I feed like they get fed the best food. I just had the dentist comes and does their teeth, their feet get trimmed up regularly. They have a body worker that comes and works on them every 4 weeks. Like literally, they have everything they need. But when it comes time to ride, or if I want to do something with them, it's not like they have this thing of like, oh, I owe that to you. Here's an hour or 2 hours of my time. I'll give that back to you because of all the food and all the body work and all the. No, they just receive all of it. And they're like, why wouldn't you be doing this for me? Why wouldn't you get up every day and go to work so you can give me the life that I deserve? Like that style of receiving too, where there's no transaction whatsoever in their world. They're like, I will take everything that you give me and we can have a relationship and see, what shows up in the moment. It's not, there's no tabs, there's no keeping of scores or anything like that with horses either, which is also very wonderful.
Yeah. And Claire, come on, come on. Unmute yourself.
What do you
Yeah.
have to say, Claire?
Yeah. What do you want to say to Sarah?
Hey, I'm so excited. Hi. Actually, I don't really have a question, but I have something like a feedback. Just like Celine said before, actually, horses to me at this moment kind of far in the movies, in the novels or something. But actually, when I talked to Li Tong, as I remember, maybe 9 or 10 months ago, and we are talking something, and she gave me some information about this class, Conscious Horse Conscious Rider, and all the informations about Sarah and the podcast. And I just clicked one episode of the podcast, and I don't remember how short is that, maybe 3 or 5 minutes. I just text Lee Tong, wow, this energy, this, I want that. So what else is possible? The energy in, I don't remember which guest you have, but Sarah talked about when we get along with with horse, just like the topic you just mentioned, the leadership, be willing to lead, and the receiving part, and all of that energy and the invitation. And when you are not being you, when you are not take the lead, the host won't react, won't do anything, right? And also they won't ask you anything. They just ask you to be you. That energy, I don't know, beyond words. And actually, before this live, I have some headache or something. I don't know what this. I just keep asking, what's this? What's this? And when the live starts, when everyone we access this energy, and I just remember that the first time when Li Tong talked to me with this energy, I just tap into the energy. This headache about receiving or something, just releasing more and more. I think maybe the horse is already facilitating me about the receiving. So I just, what else is possible? I'm very grateful and so excited this will happen in Taiwan. Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
Yeah,
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
this time we're in this stable that's near the ocean, and I just love it there. It's not huge, but and not tons of horses, but the kindness there with the nature and the horses. Some of them are not even working horses, but it was well taken care of. Just that being together as a herd and near the nature, near the ocean, it just gave me such just a quietness in a way that the joy, the motion of joy is more obvious than ever. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning the earth and the nature as well, because I think horses, that's another very like a very big part of their world is they're also very connected to this planet. They have 4 feet, and their 4 feet are pretty much always on the ground. I mean, even if they're on concrete, really the only time their feet leave the ground is if we put them in like a horse trailer or a horse to move them somewhere. But otherwise, they're at all times they're connected to the earth, and it's something that's hugely important to them as well. So I think what Claire was mentioning too, and another big part of this receiving thing that we've been talking about, is they actually draw a lot of their energy from the planet, from the earth and the ground underneath us and everything around us too. So they also have this terrific capacity to invite us to receive a lot more and be in a lot more communion with nature, with the planet, with the earth. Yeah, they definitely have shown me a lot about that side of things as well. The gift of this planet and how much we can really receive from it. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah, for coming alive to meet us. Yeah.
Of course.
And of course, if you want to meet Sarah, you have a very good chance. A class is coming up in December. It's from December 10th to let's
Well,
see, 12, 3 days in Taiwan, in Zhunan. And this class is called Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider. And you don't have, there's no
no prereq.
prereqs. Anyone can join this, and you don't have to have experience with horse to come. Yeah, so
Or you can.
or you can if
And so,
you have a horse, you want to come and ask Sarah about things. You
Or
want to, yeah, like yeah,
play together.
yeah, yeah, we want to get together. Yeah, and it's so welcome to have fun with Sarah and horses for 3 days. Yeah.
I'd like to add in here, this class starts originally it's like a clinic. So a lot of people bring their horse when they have things, then we ask the horse and we clear things and we, make the energy shift and things change. So it starts from a clinic, but now it's like more like a invitation. It's very amazing with no prereq, with manuals with the tools that we can use on the horse body, also including people's body, or tools for change, creating greater tools for creating greater. So it's just not just like hang out with horses only, but with that, what can we be for each other? And from there on, the seed can grow even further. So I'm really excited to invite more horse people to join us, or some people who are horse people but don't know themselves yet.
You'll
Let the horse
become a
show
horse
you.
person. The amount of people that have come to one of these classes and been like, Sarah, I'm addicted to horses now. I'm already looking to see where I can have a horse, how I can get more. Like, it's so funny. And thank you for mentioning too, because very much I have a very broad knowledge of horses as well. So a lot of things from the husbandry of horses, the anatomy and physiology, different parts of their body and how it works, how they function on a physiological level. I like to think of myself when I facilitate these classes as I have the practical and I have the magic. And that's what I love about Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, because we get to have the pragmatics of horsemanship, of riding, of groundwork, of knowing the different parts of your horse and how they work. And then we get to infuse it all with consciousness and actually learn the language of the horse, which is energy. So it's a class like nothing else on this planet, like all access consciousness classes are. But how does it get any better than an access consciousness class with horses? I mean, come on, how could there be anything better than that? So yes, please come. And thank you so much, ladies. I'm really, really excited. It will be my first time in Taiwan, and I love so much traveling to different parts of the world and getting to experience the horses in that country, because they're also different. Sometimes the breeds are the same, like you probably have breeds there that we have here in Australia, but the horses have such a different energy based on the country that I'm in. So I'm so excited to meet the horses of Taiwan as well as the people. So thank you so much. I'm very excited.
Thank you. And well, come to join us in December. Yay. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.